So hello again. So this video is going to specifically focus on how to graph linear inequalities. So at this point, hopefully you have already learned a little bit on how to graph lines, right? So now we're going to get into inequalities. So inequalities are the ones that have the less than or greater than symbol, or the less than or equal to, greater than or equal to symbol. And they're almost exactly the same as graphing a regular line, just with a couple of differences that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. So we're first going to focus on how to graph the actual line itself. Then we'll worry about what this less than or equal to sign is going to do for our graph here. So here we have this example here, x plus 2y is less than or equal to 4. So when it comes to graphing any kind of line, so we're going to focus on the slope-intercept method of graphing a line, which means in order to use the slope-intercept method, we need to solve for y. So remember, slope-intercept method looks like this, y equals mx plus b. And we want it in this method because this is going to tell us exactly what is our slope and what is our y-intercept. So let's get our equation in the proper form first. So if we need to put this in slope-intercept form, we're getting y all by itself, so we need to move everything else over, starting with this x. So it's a positive x, so let's subtract x on both sides. X minus x cancels, leaving us with 2y is less than or equal to, always bring down your x first, then your number. Slope-intercept form always has your x first. So I'm going to drop down the minus x first, then I'm going to drop down this 4. And remember, this 4 is positive. Okay, so we're dropping down a positive 4. We almost have y by itself. We just need to get rid of that 2 in front. So remember that this is understood to be 2 times y. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So let's divide everything by 2. Right, the entire left side and the entire right side. So 2 divided by 2 cancels. Drop down y is less than or equal to. Over here, so we have this negative x over 2. Also remember that there is understood to be a 1 in front of the x. So technically this is a negative 1/2 x. So let's bring that down. Plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is our equation here that we are going to need to graph. So when we make our graph here, all right, so when it comes to graphing a line, the few things, or the two most important things that we need to know is what is our y-intercept, what is our slope. And as long as we have our equation in this form right here, we know our y-intercept because it's this right over here, this plus 2. And then our slope is always the coefficient of x. So always start by plotting your y-intercept first. Our y-intercept is a plus 2. So from the origin, we go straight up 2 and we put our first point. After we take care of the y-intercept, then we look at our slope. And our slope is a negative 1/2. So negative direction needs to be going down. Okay, looking from left to right, you're going downstairs. Okay, and this negative 1 over 2 right here, remember slope is rise over run. So this is up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 in the negative direction. So from this point of a 2, we go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. That would be the same thing as going down and to the right, down and to the right. Okay, so, and you can do it until you have enough points. There's no magic number. I like to do it until I fill up enough of the graph. At least 2 points is good enough. Otherwise, so now let's focus on what this inequality does to it. Don't always automatically go and connect the dots and make your line, because when it comes to inequalities, you can have 2 different kinds of lines. You can have a dashed line or a solid line. If you have the less than or greater than symbols here, you are gonna have a dashed line. If you have the equal than attached to it, that's gonna be a solid line. If it can equal our line, we fill in our line, but if it has to be bigger or less than our line, we keep it dotted because that means that it doesn't actually equal that line, but everything above or below it is okay. So looking back at our symbol, we do have the less than or equal to, so we can make a nice solid line, right, through our points here. The only other thing that we need to worry about is where are we shading. When it comes to these, we're either shading above our line or below our line, and that depends on our symbol. This is a less than or equal to, so anything less than this line is anything below this line. So that's everything down here. Right? Some people like to use colored pencils or whatever it is, just as long as you understand anything below this line is what is shaded. That means this entire region over here is our solution to this particular graph here.